Stop letting fear hold you back from the life you know you deserve. Okay, I can't do this. Most people give up on their dreams, or they give up on the life that they truly want and settle for something less because they're not willing to fight for it and they want to settle for something that's easier. But you literally never know what can happen until you try. And the day that you plant the seed is not the day that you see the fruit. And every little action you do builds up. So you shouldn't be scared to go for what you want. And hi icons, my name is Ruth Anne, and before we get into this video, you should subscribe to my channel, follow me on TikTok. I'm starting to post every day on TikTok. Every person you see today that you look up to who is successful started out struggling. All the people who are winning Grammys and Oscars and what are the other awards? Tonys, they all started out struggling. Everyone struggles. There's success and growth is not something that just happens. It's not linear. It's something that's very difficult, but is worth it if you're willing to try and willing to build the life that you know you deserve. And sorry, I'm looking at my notes. We always don't. Hold on, I'm trying to decide if I want these on or not. We don't always see, the side of people's story where they were struggling for years, but it's always there, even if we don't see it. And the main factor in people who are successful is belief in themselves. Even if it's completely delusional belief, it still gets you somewhere, okay? Because you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm so scared, and what if I fail? Okay, you should hope to fail, because you become more successful if you fail, because then you learn what to do next. And just so many people give up right before they make it. Your desires are there for a reason. You don't want to not go for them and wonder what would have happened if you went for them. You know what I mean? It's better to do something scared than not do it at all and just wonder what would have happened if you did it. And like I said, every failure makes you more successful. You learn another lesson about what you should or shouldn't do every time you fail. And when you are not fully at the level of success that you want, that's the time for you to experiment. And you experiment, you try new things, even do it when you're literally trembling because you're so scared. I'm filming, there's nobody really around, but a little part of me wants to be scared to film in public, even though I'm not fully in public, but you know what I mean. But I'm doing it anyways because I want to push myself to do new things. And why should I care? This is a little bit of a side tangent. Why should I care what people who I don't even know think about me? Speaking of which, I did make a video about not caring what people think, so you should check it out after you watch this video. You will learn your personal formula for success when you keep failing over and over again. I did another video, I don't remember which one it was, but I talked about how I read a quote that said, "Failure is success turned inside out." Every single failure gets you closer. And what inspired this video actually is that I wrote an essay about this, or not an essay, one paragraph about this for a school assignment of how every failure teaches you something and gets you closer to success. I was already thinking about making a video about not letting the fear of failure hold you back, but then this was it ignited my fire, if you will. Everyone's formula for success is different, and every failure teaches you something new that you need to do in order to succeed. It's not slow progress is better than no progress. I heard somebody say that, and it literally changed my life. It's better, every little action that you do brings you closer to success. Even just getting out of bed in the morning, and your success is already destined for you in the future. It's already there, but all you have to do is just keep taking action in order to get there. Something I say to myself every morning is, my path is already written for me. All I have to do is live it out. And it gives me a lot of comfort. Really, all you have to do is live out your path. So the only way to figure out your formula for success is to fail over and over again. And you don't need to look a certain way, act a certain way, copy other people in order to be successful. That's something that I was talking about with my therapist yesterday. Is I was like, I tend to look at other people on social media and be like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And I'm like, I need to change everything about myself. But that is not the truth. Because I'm the only person who has my voice. I'm the only person who has what I have to say. I'm the only person who has this exact personality. So there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from people and being like, what did they do to become successful? But it's not always going to be what you need to do to become successful, if that makes sense. And so, like, what my therapist said to me is you should have, like, a foundation of, like, who you are and what you want to come back to. So, like, for example, I haven't done this yet, but I am going to journal about different qualities about myself, like my interests, my passions, just like my personality overall. And then I'm going to basically set that as my foundation. So, like, this is my foundation, but I'm allowed to experiment and to other people for inspiration, try out other formats, try out other things until I find what works for me, but like only trying out the things that actually feel true to me and who I am. But then I have that foundation to go back to of like, these are my passions and my interests, and this is who I am. I'm going to try out other things, I'm going to experiment, but I have this foundation to come back to. So, yeah. Everyone's formula for success is different, but there's nothing wrong with experimenting with other formulas when you don't fully have the level of success that you're striving for. So you shouldn't let fear of failure hold you back, okay? Because like I said, every person who's successful believed in themselves and everybody called them crazy. And then they became successful and they said, oh, look at me now. Look at me now. Just find what works for you because it's your life and you can define success however you want. Success for you could be a certain amount of money. It could be a certain job. It could be, just getting married. It could be having kids. Whatever it is for you. For me, personally, success just means feeling fulfilled in every single area of my life and just feeling at peace. And that is what I'm striving for. And another thing that I heard is I watched a video yesterday about detachment, and it's basically saying like the way to master detachment is to just be like, when you want something, don't focus so much on the end destination. Focus more on enjoying the process. I actually journaled about this today of like, what can I do to enjoy the process more in like this current stage of my life? Because, like sometimes it is hard not to focus only on the end goal and focus on the future, but to slow down and focus on the process, because the process, like, there's a point, even if there's a lot of difficult things going on in your life right now, someday you're going to be nostalgic for this part of your life. So it's important to enjoy the process in any way that you can, even if it's simply just slowing down in your morning routine and enjoying every little part of it. Like, there's always something you can do to enjoy your life more in the process. And literally the formula to life is authenticity and self-belief. I'm really, really placing a large focus on authenticity recently. It's really hard for me. I have a lot of childhood wounds around that because I was bullied in 5th grade and middle school and a little bit in high school. I always felt really left out. And so it was really hard for me to like be my authentic self because I really just wanted to morph myself into whatever I thought people wanted from me. So it was so hard to be myself. And literally like 5th grade and middle school are like the most formative years in your childhood because like your brain is starting to really develop. And so basically whatever you go through at that time will follow you. So it's important to face those parts of yourself and work through them. So I'm trying to really be like, what is my authentic self? Not the self that I want to put on for other people, but my true self that I want to be. And people love authenticity, and people love confidence and believing in yourself. And even if you don't actually believe in yourself, if you start to pretend that you do, eventually you will. And it's not just as easy as that. Like, it takes a lot of facing, like, what made me struggle to believe in myself. A lot of times it's people who place their limiting beliefs and their restrictions on you. So you just have to recognize your self-doubt as a lie and be like, this is just something that other people have placed on me, and it's not true. Like, for example, I'm going to talk about this in a second, but when I get, like, a thought of doubt, I'm like, that's literally just, like, the past version of myself trying to hold me back, and it's not true. And, yeah. And it doesn't really matter how or when things work out. It's not up to you how things work out. It's not up to you when they work out, because they always will. There's obviously going to be struggles along the way. It's not going to be a linear path, but it will work out in the end, because your path is already written out for you. And, like, if you think to your past, there's so many situations where you worried about, how is this going to work out? And then it played out in a way that you could never have imagined, you know? Even if it was difficult in the process, and it always ends up working out in some way. Even if things are difficult, you're still on the right path. You're still on the right path. You're always going to be on the right path, and nothing can take you off of the path that is set for you. All you really need to do is just have courage to go after what you want and believe in yourself. Because people are going to doubt you. People are boring. people love to place their doubts and restrictions on you, but if you have enough confidence to go for what you want, you just might make it. You just might make it, because you have the courage to actually take action and not listen to what they're saying. And then when you're successful, you're going to prove everybody wrong and be like, oh, they're going to be like, oh, they weren't crazy. Oh. Oh, okay. You're on your own path. Don't compare yourself to other people, because everyone's path is unique to them. You're not going to have the same path as Joe. I don't know why that was the first name I thought of. You're not going to have the same path as them. And that's okay. That's beautiful. It's an amazing thing to have your own path in life. And what's meant for you always ends up finding you. There's no way that you can stop what's meant for you from coming into your life. Even if it's something difficult, it'll still come into your life, and you will learn something from it, and you'll grow into a better version of yourself, and you'll get past it. And bad or negative feelings are always temporary. Everything, like, the only constant is change. Everything is constantly changing, and just remind yourself when you feel down that it's just temporary. Everything that isn't meant for you passes you by. If you're on your path to success and something you fail, okay, that's just a learning experience, and, that rejection is just redirecting you to something that is even better. Just don't let fear get to you when you face setbacks, because those setbacks are just taking you down the path that's already been written out for you. And personally, I am learning to believe in myself by facing the experiences that made me doubt myself, reworking those thoughts, and forgiving my past self and moving on. What I do is I face those things head on. I go back into my past and I say, what is it that made me feel this doubt? And then I say, okay, I understand that was trying to teach me something, but I'm ready to move on and learn from it. And I'm ready to believe in myself, because although that self-doubt taught me something, it's not serving me anymore. And the only way to really move forward for me in this time in my life is to believe in myself. As soon as those doubts enter your mind, you have to just take the power away from them and be like, that's a lie. I don't resonate with that on this timeline. That's what I was going to say. I don't resonate with that on this timeline. That's what I always say. I'm like, that doubt does not serve me. It doesn't resonate with me on the timeline that I'm on right now. It's important to sorry, I was reading another word. It's important to also rework your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And I know it's hard sometimes, when you feel really negative, but sometimes you just have to pretend that you feel positively even if you don't, which sounds a little crazy. But it really helps to constantly affirm to yourself who the freak you are. If you feel doubt, just say over and over in your head, I believe in myself, I believe in myself, I believe in myself, I believe in myself. And you're going to feel crazy, but eventually you will believe it. And, another thing is when I say affirmations, I have recently started to say why afterward, because it really kind of just like dissolves any question. For example, I deserve to be successful. Wait, no. I am successful because I deserve to be successful. I deserve to be successful because I am a good, kind person. I am. I deserve to be successful because I'm the only person like me in the world. I deserve to be successful because I'm Ruth Anne. I literally say that. I'm like, I'm literally Ruth Anne. Oh, and it helps. And I don't know why that breath was like sounded like it was my first breath ever. And rewiring the way that your brain works takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of error, but you really just have to give yourself grace. That's what my therapist always says to me because, like, it's so hard to rework your brain. It's so hard to stray away from the habits that you've learned for your entire life, but it is worth it to become the best version of yourself that you're meant to be, you know? Um, and another, like I said, I'm trying to practice being authentic, but it's hard not to beat myself up. I tend to be really extreme when I'm trying to change the way that I interact with people. I'm like, I'm never gonna care what anyone thinks about me again. I'm never gonna hold any parts of my authentic self back again. But it's not that easy. You have to really, really be easy on yourself because you're not perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. And I'm really trying to learn that because I expect myself to be perfect, but I need to really just give myself grace because it's not possible to be perfect. And, even if you talk to yourself like you're someone else, just be like, I forgive you. It's okay. I'm giving you grace. I forgive you. Whatever you have to do. Somebody needs to hear this. What you focus on and what you think shapes your reality. So you have to really reframe your thoughts to be positive. And I know it's hard. But it takes practice, like I said. And if you got everything wrong or everything right on the first try, you wouldn't learn what you should do differently. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake and failing. Every person makes mistakes. Some people try to hide the fact that they make mistakes, but they do. The most successful people, the richest people, they all make mistakes too. Hey, but you just have to own your mistakes with confidence and be like, yeah, I made a mistake, but I'm gonna move on from it and learn from it and become a better version of myself with every mistake that I make. There's a quote from a book, Atomic Habits, that says, to be afraid of failure is to deny success. And that's all I gotta say on that. Literally, if you want to succeed, you shouldn't be afraid of failure. If you're afraid of failure, you're not gonna succeed. Oh, I'm telling the hard truth, I know. And failure is simply just a way to build a stronger foundation. It's important to change the way you think about failure so that you don't fear it. If you face those fears, if you own those fears, you take the power away from them. And it's really just, like I said, a way to build a stronger foundation. People who fail over and over again are going to be a lasting success because they're going to learn what to do and what not to do. And they're going to learn their own personal formula for success. And you only have one life. So why waste it? Wait, let me restart. You only have one life. Why waste it not doing what you love to do or what you're passionate about? It's really never too late to rewire your brain, make a concrete plan to change things about your life, and trust yourself. Trust that everything is going to work out for you because it always does. It always has in the past. Even if it was difficult, it always ends up working out in some way. Gag it. Do it scared. Do it scared. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm just kidding. It's better than not doing it at all and wondering what would have happened. Would you rather do something literally trembling and then you get something amazing out of it, or just sit with regrets of like, why didn't I go for that? You know, like for example, I'm so excited because I'm going to a modeling boot camp, which is crazy because I've wanted to be a model since I was like, I don't know what age, like 10 or something. And so this is an amazing opportunity that literally felt like it fell into my lap because I went to a fashion show in November, and then I went to like a booth thing, and they were like, we're having a boot camp, here's a pamphlet, and then I just like signed up for it. Like, you just have to take those opportunities by the balls because you never know when, like, they could pass you by and you will regret it for the rest of your life that you didn't take that opportunity. I am terrified because I have no idea what to expect. But this could lead to amazing things, and it's going to teach me things about an industry that I've wanted to go into for so long. You know, it's going to be worth it. And I'm going to do it scared, but once I do it, I'll realize it's not as scary as my brain built it up to be. Your brain always builds things up to be scarier than they actually are. Your fear can hold you back from experiences that have always been destined for you. So you shouldn't let that happen. You should tell your fear to shut up. When your fear arises, say, shut up. I don't resonate with you. Like, sometimes you even have to give your fear a name and be like, what's a name? John, shut up! I don't know why I said John. Sorry if your name is John. Oh. Anyways, so now I have some steps for you. First thing is to get clear on your vision. It's sometimes hard to get clear on what you fully want unless you already know. But it helps to journal about it. Think about like what excites you, what are your passions, what do you care about? Like what is something that you could talk about for hours and just get so excited about? Maybe you find something related to that you want to do. You know, like visualize it. I love visualizing things in my own brain or with a Pinterest board or a collage. Speaking of Pinterest, I recently started posting on Pinterest. Go follow. But just had to seamlessly plug myself. Anyways, so Pinterest boards, vision boards, journaling, any way that you can visualize it, you know? And the more that you do that, the more you'll get clear on what you truly want. Just think about your personality and what you're passionate about, and it'll become clearer to you. Next thing is to choose somebody or multiple people who inspire you. You know, like I have on my wall in my bedroom, sorry, I usually never say the full government name. Anyways, on my wall in my princess castle, okay, whatever, I have I have a wall of a bunch of women who inspire me, such as Adriana Lima. Let me go on a side tangent about Adriana Lima. She is the first model I ever heard of, ever, and she was super shy and quiet. And then she became literally the most commanding presence on the runway. So it just really inspires me and makes me feel like that's possible for me. So, like, find somebody who is doing something that you want to do, someone who is similar to you, and then use them as a reminder that you can do what they're doing. You know, like, there's people out there living the life that you want, so why are you any different? You know? So, yeah, choose people who inspire you. And you also need to start internally reworking your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind rules like 90% of your reality, 95%, whatever. So it's important, if you want to make physical changes to your life, to start by reworking the way that your brain even thinks about your life. Because in order to become successful, you have to actually believe that it's possible for you. And it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of work to rework your subconscious mind, but I've been reworking my subconscious mind for like a little over a year, just putting a little bit of time every day, and it's made a huge difference. So it's worth it. And, you know, a little bit of work on yourself is worth it to live the life that you've always wanted to live. Next thing is to just keep trying with trust in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Until you finally make it. You know, it's going to be so worth it when you do make it. You're going to know what all of this was for. And you're going to be like, oh, this was all so worth it. Because now I'm living the life I've always wanted to live. And you shouldn't settle for something that you don't deserve. You know? And you should know what you deserve. And that starts internally by reworking your subconscious mind and being like, oh, I deserve this job. I deserve my dream job. I deserve abundance. I deserve love. I deserve whatever. You know? It takes a lot of work, but it is so, so worth it. And it's also just, it's not a linear experience to rework that part of yourself, those parts of yourself, those limiting beliefs. You have to really be dedicated. Trust me. Next thing is to be easy on yourself, because success is not something that just happens overnight. I mean, it can, but it takes a lot of work. And just really show yourself love and respect by fully, wholeheartedly going for what you want, even if it's terrifying, because the more that you do something, the less scared that you'll be. And things are always less daunting when you just do them. When you just do them. Oh, that was a really good video. I kind of went off track of my notes a lot, but I had like basic points. And because I'm very passionate about this topic. I'm very passionate about this topic. And we're now going to get into the last segment, which is afterthought. And I literally brought my jar into the car with me. Fun fact, my dream vacation is Italy. Oh! That's a really good fun fact, and it's true. My dream vacation is Italy. I don't really know exactly what made me want to first go to Italy. I think it was a movie or something where I was like, wow, what is this? And my dream is to go to Milan Fashion Week. I don't care if I'm attending, I don't care if I'm walking. Either one I'm good with. I just really, really want to go to Milan Fashion Week. And I just want to go to like so many different places in Italy. The Amalfi Coast. I really want to go to Italy. Just thought you should know. So that someday when there's an Italy vlog, you'll be like, hey! That's basically it for this video. And I really, really hope that you were inspired, or that you learned something, or I gave you a little bit more courage or something. I know that somebody out there needs to hear this. So, thank you so, so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. And I really hope you enjoyed being here with me. Make sure that you subscribe for more videos like this. And also make sure that you follow my TikTok and my Pinterest, because I'm starting to post every single day on there. And one more little life update. I recently, actually, okay, hold on, let me not get ahead of myself. One more little life update is that I recently started a class called Content Creators, and I'm so excited about it. Like, literally, I left my class early yesterday because I had therapy, and I was actually, like, so sad about it. And I never thought that would happen, but I'm so excited because I'm in a class with a bunch of other people who make content too, and it's so fun to be with, like-minded people. That's another thing I'm excited for the modeling bootcamp, is to be with like-minded people who have, like, the same goals as me. And I'm learning more about content and stuff like that. That's why I was inspired to start posting every day on TikTok and YouTube. So, or not YouTube, Pinterest. Except I actually will probably post my TikToks on YouTube, but I don't know. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And I journaled today about things that I have to look forward to. I have so many crazy things happening in like spring and summer. Let me give you a little sneak peek. I'm graduating. I'm turning 18. I'm maybe getting a tattoo or a piercing. Oh, I'm going to my modeling boot camp. I'm going on a cruise for the first time ever to celebrate me and my two sisters. We're all graduating this year. There's more, but I don't know. Anyways, this video is 30 minutes. So I'm really happy about that. I love that this video is 30 minutes. Hey, I'm about to go film a TikTok. Not go film, I'm gonna film it right here. And I have to pee so bad, but I'm about to go home. So, anyways, I will see you very, very soon. And thank you so much for watching once again. And I hope you have the most beautiful day you've literally ever had. Love you.